Senator Moore.
Thank you, Madam Acting Deputy President. Yesterday in this place, Girl Guides came to Parliament. While there were significant numbers of Girl Guide biscuits, there was neither any toggle nor any campfires present. But what we did have was strong women of all ages who came to talk about what Girl Guiding meant to them and what they hoped into the future Girl Guides would provide for many young women in our country and across the world. For the last 2 years, Australian Girl Guides have been doing a national review of what guiding means to our community and also how they hope that guiding will continue into the 21st and further centuries. What we had the opportunity to do yesterday was meet with women who were proud of being Girl Guides. We had representatives from across Australia come, including Chief Commissioner Robinette Emerson and CEO Kit McMahon. They wanted to talk about the achievements of Girl Guides, about how they were working with young women to look at their needs and also to challenge them into the future. As we do know, the history of Girl Guides goes back to 1909, when it is said that at the first Boy Scout rally, Robert Baden-Powell, the founder of the Boy Scouts, was surprised when several girls turned up and insisted that they wanted to be Girl Scouts. He agreed, which was good, and in 1910 the Girl Guides Association was officially formed. From as early as 1909 here in Australia, girls were forming their own groups, and by 1920 Girl Guide associations had been formed in 6 states. In 1926, the state associations federated and formed a national association, Australian Girl Guides. Since that time, over 1 million Australian women have been or are still Girl Guides, and once a Girl Guide, always a Girl Guide. Girl Guides in Australia is a founding member of the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts, WAGs. They are part of the worldwide movement of some 10 million members in 146 countries. This is indeed an international movement for women. Girl Guides Australia see the role of non-formal education and lifelong learning as a critical empowerment for girls and a way of contributing to meeting our national and international development goals. They're working with colleagues in Australia and across the world to roll out non-formal education programs, including 3 programs that I want to talk about this evening: Guide Your Money, Free Being Me, and Voices Against Violence. At the core of these programs is the real empowerment of girls so that they have the knowledge that they can achieve in our community. Dedicated Girl Guides Australia volunteers are instrumental in developing programs and inspiring girls and young women to be their best. The Guide Your Money program, Girl Guides Australia Financial Literacy Strategy, was developed with help internationally so that we've got the same kind of skills available, and was based on a concern about economic disadvantage that women face. And we know in Australia, as we talked about last week, that the current gender pay gap sits at 17.9%. We believe, with the Girl Guides, that we're working towards achieving economic empowerment of women and girls through the Guide Your Money program, which aims to equip their members with financial literacy skills and build real financial capability. It aims to empower girls and young women with practical learning on personal finance so that they can make better decisions for themselves for an independent and secure financial future. The Girl Guides movement partners with lead organisational expertise in financial literacy, and this translates key content to the Girl Guide method for sustainable outcomes. The program is designed to support transformational change in the lives of girls and young women and to provide access to understanding the value of positive personal money management, and to develop a financial literacy program that covers key life stages of girls and young women, and through that to provide guide leaders access to financial literacy development. The Girl Guide structure aims to work at young women across many ages. So the target audience for this program is actually structured into 2 groups. Girls from 7 to 12 are given positive role models on saving and using money, and they're introduced to the basics of budgeting and making better money decisions. Young women, the older guides, are aged 18 to 30. They're empowered to take control of their financial future. Skills will be developed via face-to-face learning, online content and practical application. The strategy will also develop capacity among adults who lead the young girls and peer educators, because you're never too old to learn about effective money management. This program is planned to work through the non-formal learning program, creating life skills in girls and young women by raising awareness of informed financial decisions and the importance of having informed financial decisions. It empowers girls and young women to know where they can seek information and to be mindful about the role of money and finance in their lives, with the intent of making women independent. The idea is to develop positive mindsets, knowledge and understanding on how financial literacy can empower their future. And importantly, Madam Acting Deputy President, to create what's called a pause point in a girl and a young woman's life when financial decisions are made, so that they can consider how a decision on their own personal finance can contribute to that necessary financial independence. Importantly, Madam Acting Deputy President, this program is aimed to provide opportunities for girls and young women to take a moment to envision their own financial future and understand what actions they can take individually to realise that future. Another program which I really like, Madam Acting Deputy President, is the one called Free Being Me. This program was developed by the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts, we heard before, WAGs, and the company Dove, to improve the self-esteem of girls across the world. Again, making sure that young women in Australia are learning and sharing their knowledge with young women across the world. Girl Guides Australia is concerned that 70% of girls in Australia have said that they have body dissatisfaction, and 20% of females in Australia have identified an undiagnosed eating disorder. Free Being Me is a program designed to show young people that body confidence and self-esteem comes from valuing our bodies, standing up to social pressure and supporting others to become more confident. Participants taking part in Free Being Me will learn leadership skills, and again that word, Madam Acting Deputy President, they will feel empowered to make a difference in their own lives locally, their own communities and in global communities. The vision of this program is a partnership of a free world which actually has sense and confidence about knowing how they can respond to the anxiety caused about appearance-related fear and loathing. The mission is to empower girls to reach their full potential by strengthening their own body confidence and esteem. Again, responding to girls of all ages, the research team has developed two versions of the program, one for 7 to 10-year-olds and the other aimed at 11 to 14-year-olds. This program aims to impact 23,000 girls by March 2016, rolling out the curriculum to approximately 7,500 guides in Australia. Internationally, the plan is that the partnership will see 3.5 million girls taking part in this program. The program is based on a sequence of activities that sets up cognitive dissonance. Research into body confidence programs tells us that it's only through setting up a state of cognitive dissonance that behaviour towards body confidence and image can be and will be sustainably changed. In this way, we build resilient girls with high self-esteem. The sequence of learning follows a program. Discover the image myth understanding, and understand through this way that media and society broadly sets girls and women up with unrealistic expectations of what beauty really is. Understand where the image myth is found and how it affects us. Define the costs of the image myth in personal, social and community terms, and understand body talk. A key part of perpetuating the myth is in the words and phrases that are used to reinforce our sense of self, our well-being. And from this learning and growing awareness, to take action. Participants in the program the young women and the girls are asked to spread the word and take action in their community. The confidence that they learn can then be shared, and we can break down this fear and this anxiety which we know is all too prevalent in our community. The third program I want to talk about this evening is Voices Against Violence. This Girl Guides program for children and young people is to stop violence against girls and women. And it seems to me that no group could be more aware of the need to work effectively with young women than the Girl Guides. Girl Guides Australia is deeply concerned about the fact, and we know this awful fact, Madam Acting Deputy President, that one Australian woman dies every week from domestic violence, and that internationally 6 out of 10 women will be subject to some form of domestic violence or abuse in their lifetime. They realise that a priority area for action is addressing violence against women systematically. So a way of engaging with people, with women and young girls locally, and also have a sense of the international problem. Voices Against Violence is a non-formal education curriculum developed in partnership with UN Women. Again, having that sense that this is not just something that impacts in Australia. It is an international issue and we can make change here locally. The aim of the program is through delivery of a non-formal education program. The program supports children and young people to understand their right to live without violence and discrimination, to identify different forms of violence, and to gain the skills and the confidence to speak out and take action in preventing violence in their own lives and in their communities. Again, shared strength and shared action. The target audience, again, is divided into different age groups so that the response can be immediate and that skills are built up over the period of time. Young, middle and older years with age-appropriate activities on different forms of violence for each group. In delivering the Voices Against Violence program, Girl Guides Australia again is part of a global community committed to reaching out to 30 million people in over 100 countries. Groups of all ages look at the topics which include gender stereotyping and gender discrimination, domestic violence, child abuse and sexual bullying. Older groups look at all topics such as informed consent, sexual harassment, relationship abuse, sexualisation, female genital mutilation and forced and early marriage. Again, sharing knowledge, and as you would know, Madam Acting Deputy President, these are the core issues that are discussed internationally through the UN movement. There is such a wealth of knowledge and experience that can be then learnt and discussed with the young women and girls. So the idea is that people will have the confidence to learn and then be able to self-identify and be able to say quite confidently, no, that this is not right, and they will be part of an ongoing campaign to stop violence. The curriculum has been developed naturally for worldwide use. It can be adapted for different cultural, social and legal contexts and has already been successfully piloted in 20 countries. After developing the ability to identify and understand gender violence, participants are encouraged to speak out and take action to stop violence. This they can do through their own local campaigns, events or activities with the support of Girl Guides Australia. Madam Acting Deputy President, the Girl Guides are alive and well and active in our community. Whilst they do have a long history, they are not part necessarily of just history. The 2-year program that has reviewed Girl Guides in Australia will be used to activate future programs and to ensure that generations to come will actually have the challenge of being involved in the movement to be able to share the knowledge, and so that women will be able to be part of that growing million Australian women who have been part of Girl Guides up till now. The plan for Girl Guides Australia is that this number will increase, not just here but across the world.
Thank you, Senator Moore.